Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? I survived the plague, and in case you were wondering why it's been a little bit quiet around here lately, it's because I literally lost my voice for like the past week and a half, and I have been battling one of the worst colds I've had in a long time. So I'm back, and I wanted to jump on here and share something that I've been kind of mulling around in my head for a little while. So for those of you who do not already know me or who are catching the replay of this, my name is Samantha Franzen, and I am a health and wellness educator over on the blog Decidedly So, where I believe when it comes to living a healthier life, knowledge is power, but convenience is key. And so what I have done is I have created an online course and community called Safer Simplified, Healthier Living for Your Whole Family. And I am helping walk women, busy moms, through this process of cleaning up their living in a way that is a heck of a lot easier. So I wanted to share with you guys, sometimes when you are in the middle of an industry, you start using some of the terminology really fluidly and forget, like I do, that there are sometimes people who don't know exactly what those terms mean. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what exactly an environmental toxin is. I've talked about that a couple of times. You may have heard me say things like non-communicable disease is on the rise and environmental toxins are absolutely playing a role. So what does that mean? Let's talk about that today. When I first heard this term, I remember kind of thinking like Captain Planet, like, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to zero. Any of the other kids of the 90s were fans of good old Captain Planet? So when I first heard that, we have this big picture of what the environment looks like. That's our lakes, our streams, our oceans, things like that. We really make that connection to the word environment and that big picture. But what I'm talking about a little bit more when I use this term environmental toxins is actually our own built environments, the homes that we live in, the food that we eat on a regular basis, the products that we put on our skin every single day. Those things are all a true environment. And so, anybody ever see the movie Biodome? I know you have. and one of the guys says, you have to start thinking globally and start thinking locally. So that's what I really want you to do with this term environmental toxin, is start thinking about it as your body. You are an environment, and there is no better kind of depiction of that than women who are pregnant. When I was pregnant with both my baby girls, I always talked about creating a really happy, healthy habitat for them because my body was their very first environment. So I hope that you can take that term, environment, and start thinking a little bit more like, this is my body. My body is an environment. And then what do we mean when we say environmental toxins? Well, we live in an era since about the 50s where chemicals have made our world a lot more convenient. But unfortunately, some of those chemicals that were introduced into our world have not had a long-term safety test done that proves that they are safe for human health. Long-term safety studies have not been conducted on these over 80,000 chemical ingredients that are currently registered with the EPA. And so what that means for you and for me, unfortunately, you guys, and this may sound a little morbid, is that we are kind of a variety of guinea pig. There's no other way for me to put it except for just to come straight out and say that. And what we're finding today is that some of these chemical ingredients are actually really detrimental to our health. I said earlier in this video, I talk a lot about non-communicable disease being on the rise. And so we are seeing things like cancer. We are seeing things like infertility. We are seeing things like learning disabilities in children. This is Autism Awareness Month. We are bringing a lot of attention to those things. And I'm sad to say that environmental toxins in the form of the chemical ingredients that we are bringing into our homes, that we are bringing in on the food that we eat and in the water that we drink, those things are absolutely playing a role in this process. Now, I want to clarify and just say I don't believe that all chemicals are bad. There is no part of me that is implying that. What I am concerned with are toxic chemicals. And what we are finding is that more and more of these chemical ingredients that we have been using for a long time are not safe for us. They are, in fact, toxic for our lives. Now, this hits super close to home for me, you guys, because as I've been doing this research on my own health and wellness journey over about the past decade, some of you know my story already, but I was diagnosed with endometriosis endometriosis when I was 19 years old. And my solution was essentially a complete hysterectomy. I kind of bunked that. I found some alternative solutions. And as I've continued to dig further and further into this information, I'm now finding that there is absolutely a correlation between the prevalence of endometriosis in women and some of our environmental toxins, some of those chemicals that I personally was unknowingly and willingly allowing into my daily life and my daily routines. So what I'm wanting to do is I want to work with women to help decrease our exposures. And I have done this in the form of an online course and community, like I mentioned, called Safer Simplified. It's healthier living for the whole family. And really this process for me is about making this more convenient and easier for all of us, because this is important and powerful information. And at the same time, when you start digging in and you start wading in, it can feel really overwhelming. And you're kind of like, hey, thanks a lot, Sam, for coming along and blowing my beautiful little world of safety, right? We assume that we have these alphabet agencies that are looking out for us. FDA, USDA, EPA, all of those agencies are supposed to be overseeing and making sure that the products that end up on our shelves and in our homes are safe for our use. And sadly, what we're finding is that that couldn't be further from the truth. For the FDA, you guys, this is a shocking thing that really kind of blows my mind. But the FDA has no power to recall a product from market even if it has been proven unsafe for consumer use. And that pertains specifically to our personal care products, you guys. So if there's a shampoo that makes your hair fall out and you file a complaint with the FDA, they can't do anything to help you. And what that means is that the burden lies on our shoulders as moms, on our shoulders as dads, but especially specifically for women, because we do tend to be the main purchasing power in our own homes. So like I said, what I have done is I have created this online course and community where I am committed to helping walk women through this process and make it easier for us, from our food to our products to our medicine cabinets and all of the in-betweens. I want to help make this process easier for you. So we are starting the first round of this course in the next couple of weeks. It is $150 for you to participate. And I promise you are not going to regret it. We will have about an hour each week that is committed to an online face-to-face. And then from there, we will be really focused on just a couple of quick accountability actions. But the bulk of the material is delivered directly to you. I am so excited to share this information with you guys. And start clearing up some of the confusion that is surrounding some of these big terms and these big concepts with healthier living. So I thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I am glad to be back and to have the plague have gone away from my life, and I plan to be back quite a bit more coming at you guys. So I would love to hear what you think about this concept of environmental toxins and the environment. Has it kind of thrown you for a curve in recent years, or is it something that you've been pretty savvy with in the past? So comment in the section below, you guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk soon.